What's up, guys? When times get bad, when times get rough, why don't you lay me down in the tall grass and let me do my stuff. This is Pookie the Wolf with another, in my opinion. If you get that reference to the song, then you know what this is. Pretty much, I just wanted to go over the concept of Comic-Con, what was announced, what was looking good for it. The main point I want to get across is Marvel, of course, because I'm a big fan of them. I mean, right now, who isn't? The point I want to get across is that, I mean, little highlights here and there that don't relate to the MCU. More and more I see it for the It 2 trailer. It looks really good. I didn't see the first one yet, and I want to go out and maybe even read the book. I'm really interested in the differences between the movie and the book, and just the concept of the character Pennywise, to look into that as far as what it is exactly about. I don't think I ever got into it as a kid. I think there was like a stigma of being too scary or, you know, not being interesting to me. So that's something I want to check out, because I did want to watch the original one. Well, not the original one, I'm sorry. I watched the first one of the new ones that have been done, and also maybe read the book. I think reading the book would be interesting to see the differences. But the new trailer for that was at Comic-Con, and that looked very very good. I'm trying to think of other things. 21 Bridges, I talked about on my podcast before. That has been kind of shown off at Comic-Con, and that looks good as well. It's the Russo brothers with Black Panther, essentially. I honestly think that Chadwick Boseman is one of those guys who doesn't like to be referred as just that role. But I mean, regardless, my point is that that's another movie that looks good. So the main points I want to get across, and I'm sure I'll go on a rant and I'll try to come back around to one thing. So what we'll do is we'll do, I don't know, there's no really Disney announcements, so I'll try to find a way to bring it back to Ratatouille or something. I don't know, some kind of movie that I enjoy at one point or another, to try to not rant and go too far. So we have the main points of Black Widow, probably the next movie that's going to be released. Scarlett Johansson, of course. If you haven't seen Endgame, for one, why? Two, she didn't come out the best kind of luck out of all of us, out of all of the characters. All of us, as if I was in it. Didn't come out the best of luck out of all of the characters. This will probably be a prequel to everything. You know, it'll be. The one thing I'm excited for is Dave Harbour, who is from Stranger Things fame, as one of the characters. I believe he's supposed to play her ex-husband or something. But I wanted him to be, you know, there was rumors about him being the Thing when the Fantastic Four would start back up, but that's obviously not going to be the case. He's going to be probably essentially, I think, from what I've heard from the Red Guardian, as his character's name, he's essentially supposed to be like the Captain America of Russia, where, you know, they got a little bit of the serum. I'm not positive on that. That's what I hear about it. I don't really follow. I definitely don't follow lore on Black Widow. If we could talk about Spider-Man, I'd talk to you all about that all day. But my point is that the that is I think the first one set up for Phase 4 as far as when it comes out. We have another one, which is I think the Eternals. Eternals looks good. It has a lot of people I enjoy. You know, it's got Rob Stark. I'm just gonna name people by characters they played. Rob Stark. I don't know, some kind, that hooker vampire from Till Dusk Till Dawn. Salma Hayek. She's not a hooker. She's a gorgeous woman. I'm not trying to insult her. I didn't know a character's name that she played. Salma Hayek, the guy, I don't know his name, forgive me, but the guy who played Miles' dad in Into the Spider-Verse, the cop, Jeff Davis. He was also in Atlanta, and I believe he was in the new Chucky, the new, I guess, Child's Play. The guy's been doing a lot of work, you know, fairly significant work lately. He's in it as well. One of my favorite comedians, even before, unrelated to the MCU, Kumail Nanjiani, who was, if you've seen the first episode of Twilight Zone, he was in that. I believe recently he was just in the episode of I'm sorry. He was just recently in the new Men in Black International as the little CGI'd. It looks like a booger or a turd. I don't know. He's some kind of alien. He's been on a lot of stuff. I mean, I followed him as far as like he's a big gamer, and he's a pretty good comedian. I think one of my favorite jokes from him is the fact of that all of God's mistakes are down in the bottom, deep in the bottom of the ocean, like that little light bulb monster. Anyway, the point is I'm already ranting off the side. He's in it as well. I'm excited for that. There were rumors of Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things as 11. She was supposed to be in it, but I guess they casted that some other girl. So that is the case. I think the Eternals is probably the one group of people I don't know about. Even with James Gunn and the Guardians, I knew somewhat of the characters. I wasn't aware of the Guardians themselves, but I knew of Groot, I knew of Rocket, I knew of Star-Lord. Those people I knew about, but I wasn't aware the connection to Guardians of the Galaxy and all that. But the Eternals is something new for me. I didn't really follow that growing up. So this will be new territory. I think with having Angelina Jolie in it, I'm kind of turned off by it. But hopefully it is something that it comes out well, and it's like a pretty good movie as far as another solid entry into the MCU. I mean, we can only hope. Hopefully, we're not gonna lose any steam here on Phase 4. That's one of my main concerns, especially with getting to that. Is the series is for Disney Plus. We have. I'm just gonna name a few: Falcon and Winter Soldier, Hawkeye. We have what are some other ones? WandaVision. There is Loki. A lot of stuff that looks like it's going to be good to watch, little side things, kind of like the Netflix stuff. And I mean, speaking of the WandaVision, which will directly affect one of the movies, or I believe it went that the movie for Doctor Strange, which is Doctor Strange, The Madness of the Multiverse, is the new title we have for that, which is good. Two things is because I do enjoy Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange. I find him to be such a perfect fit for that character, kind of like Tony and RDJ. But then there's also the fact that we got hinted at a multiverse in Far From Home, and it was kind of a fake out. As far as, well, okay, it wasn't a fake out. I would say it wasn't focused on towards that movie. So we could hopefully see some more insight into a multiverse, or even maybe it's not even unrelated. It's related to what we saw in Far From Home, maybe in general. Doctor Strange has the ability, I'm sure, to check that out and look into multiverses. But supposedly Scarlet Witch will be co-starring in that movie, and Elizabeth Olsen is also set to be in the WandaVision, which is very iffy of a name. I don't like it at all either. There's a lot of people who are giving it shit for the name, and I agree. I mean, it's not a very good name for WandaVision, but it is supposed to directly impact from the Doctor Strange movie. So that's something to look forward to. Another one we have is Thor: Love and Thunder, which is, I'm iffy on two things. First, I'm excited because Taika Waititi is back as directing. I'm sure he'll put Korg back in this movie. And Thor really had a resurgence of enjoyable role in these past couple of films that he's been in, and it's been great to watch Thor kind of be fun to enjoy, unlike the original two movies. But the thing I'm concerned about, and I'm sure other people are too, even the person I'm going to talk about looked concerned, was Natalie Portman back as Jane Foster. and supposed to be I guess the female Thor, Jane Foster, which is not a problem. I see the problem being, and even if you go back and watch, there's pictures of Natalie Portman kind of being announced to be in the movie, and you know Tessa Thompson is going to be in it again. God, she's so fine. So she's supposed to be in that movie, Natalie Portman, I mean, and the thing I'm a little bit concerned about is the fact that the press conference, or the panel, sorry, at Hall H that Natalie Portman did, she held the hammer there to Taika Waititi to, you know, imply that she will be, you know, being able to wield it at one point. The problem with that is she looked uncertain of herself when she was holding the hammer, and that only makes me think that, and I think about her past. The thing that concerns me with Natalie Portman, I think that maybe she's a little bit nervous to be in a series or franchise. I assume that if I was to be in a big franchise and it be a big flop and be hated all around, I would definitely not want to be in another big franchise again for a while. That being said, she, you know, Padme, her character in Star Wars, I'm sure she has some kind of, you know, nerd worry as far as the order, the movies being, you know, bad. So that was still one of those things where it's concerning that the way she looks when she's holding the hammer. But I tried to make this a short concept of what is going on in the MCU, but I guess it's going to be a long thing, and I'm going to rant. But my point is that the biggest surprise that we had, which is uneven related to the Phase 4, it'll probably be Phase 5, which is I'm excited for, is Blade. We're going to reboot. They're going to reboot Blade for Phase 5 most likely. The movies, the original movies were great. I enjoyed Wesley Snipes. I'm a little bit upset Wesley Snipes is not going to be back for the character, but I'm gonna just call him Mr. Ali because that's his last name. He has done great stuff. I enjoyed him in Luke Cage. I enjoyed him in Into the Spider-Verse as Uncle Aaron. He has, I think, a great ability. I mean, he's been winning awards lately. I mean, The Green Book, there's Moonlight. There's been some great movies he's been in, and I think that's good. I think him as Blade is going to be interesting, and we have a lot of time to wait for that. But they did announce that I think he was set on being that character and wanted to be that character, so it's good. I mean, I think that'd be cool. You know, if I was a big star who was winning awards and, you know, doing these great movies, I definitely would be like calling out Marvel and being like, hey, want to do this character, let me do it. You know, I'm doing great movies lately, and I'm on a roll. Let me do this character, and I think that's great. But like I said, the old Blade movies were great as well. 1 and 2. 2 actually directed. I'm not sure if the first one did as well, but the second one was directed by Guillermo del Toro, which is a you know, I enjoy his work. 1 and 2. Don't watch 3. 3 is a pile of garbage. 3 is the concept of Blade fighting Dracula. It almost seems gimmicky. It almost seems like they ran out of things, or they want to try to reach the highest point they could as far as a foe for him to fight. I think that's kind of stupid, and I mean, it's fine. It's just it's not a very good. It's not a very good movie. It shows little signs of old, or what we have now is Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. His character Hannibal King, and don't ask me why I know the character. I've just recently watched all of these Blade movies as of late, and it's just a bad movie. But you do know who is in Blade Trinity? Patton Oswalt, voice of Remy from Ratatouille. There we go, I'm back, and thank you. Make sure to tip your waitresses. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. I've ranted way farther more than I wanted to. I appreciate you guys listening. Thank you, and I will see you next time. Because she does have you know, it's not much known about it. It's much you just see her on stuff. Like I see her on TikTok all the time, or you know, stupid shit, or memes and stuff. So it's one of the things where I'm trying to learn more about it. You know, I've got shit for trying to learn